Hello, streaming to you live. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Today is Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. And I want to talk about rapid pain relief and reduced inflammation. I've got some examples that I'm going to present to you today. And after I do that, we'll continue with the 9-minute warm-up and push exercises for today. So, to begin, I've got a nice little presentation. Back on this day of November 24th, 2025, I reported a situation where my mom fell down the stairs. And that day was very surprising for me because my mom chose not to tell me as she fell down the stairs. And it was 5 days she was suffering with this pain because she fell forward, hit the post on this corner of the landing, spun around, and then fell another 4 or 5 steps, hit the ground. And when she landed, she said that she saw light. Because that's how hard she hit the ground, the floor. And at that moment in time, she thought, oh, she might be done because of how it all transpired. But she somehow found some energy and got up and managed to, kind of recover from the shock. And but in doing so, she also experienced some pretty severe pain. And given that I'm 49, turning 50, my mom's going to be 70 this year. So when I found out, I gave her heck. I said, "Why didn't you tell me? I could have helped you sooner." And the reason being is because I gave her this, which is the Ice Wave. And basically, it's a set of patches that comes in a set. I'm going to show you. There's one. That's one part of it. The second is this white one. So, let's show you here. So you can see Ice Wave, right? A tan and a white. And basically how this works is that it connects the electrical system inside the body and causes rapid pain relief. And back on that day in November, I said, "Mom, okay, where does it hurt the most?" She said, "Well, right where you see there, just underneath the clavicle, so the top rib, between the shoulder and the sternum. That's where she hit." And I'm pretty sure that she probably fractured a couple of ribs there because she said it hurt like crazy. And I said, "Well, okay, well, I'm going to take the Ice Wave, as I just showed you, and I'm going to put one. I want you to put, I think it was the tan, on where it hurts the most." And she said it was right here, where she pointed, where you see the bruise. So I took the tan and I placed it there, and I said, "Okay, now we're going to take the white one and we're going to put it on the spot that has the electrical connection." So I ended up putting it right here. And within a matter of, I don't know, a minute or so, she gets up and she had a little pep in her step. She came back. I said, "Mom, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much pain were you in?" She says 10. Right away, no hesitation, 10. And I said, "Well, now that you've been wearing this Ice Wave, where is it now?" She said, she paused. She says, it's like 2, she said. And that was without taking any pain medication prior. She went 5 days without taking any pain medication. Tough woman. And she was in shock how this worked the way it did. And to this day, she's still impressed because she's a user of also now the X39. And her testimonial is quite good, to be honest. And her health improvements since starting both the Ice Wave and the X39 have been remarkable. As with any older person, some are not, how would you say, comfortable to be in front of the camera. So it's me basically sharing the story, which I'm okay with. But with that, I'm also going to present a second story, which comes from somebody who's not afraid to speak in front of people. And I have an actual audio recording that I'm going to share with you to share their story. And this person's name is Janine. She is actually part of the LifeWave family. And her story is quite interesting. Let's have a listen.
So I'm going to tell you a little story. I didn't know there was going to be a back pain theme tonight, but here we are. And I can talk about pain in my story because it's not a patching story. It's actually a surgery story. You could have knocked me out for this, but you weren't there. 2.5 years ago, I had major back surgery. An 8-hour procedure that involved incision through the front, flopping me over. That's not really how they do it, but flipping you over. More surgery through the back. What you see on the right-hand side of the screen is the hardware that is currently in me. It's a heck of a lot of titanium. I'm practically bionic. I don't have like a really exciting story of how I ended up in this position. I was not in a car wreck. I did not, have a parachute not open. I am not a football player. It was just years and years of pain that turned into nerve pain, that turned into not being able to stand for any length of time, that, God forbid, made me not be able to wear heels. I'm kind of kidding about that one, but not really. And I had to do something about it. I saw chiropractors. They were my favorite people for many, many years until I saw a new one, and he sent me for x-rays and said, yeah, I'm not touching you. You need to go see a surgeon. And so I decided to go through with the surgery because I felt like doing it at a slightly younger age would mean that I would probably heal faster, and it would give me more time with more quality of life. I should back up and say that before it got really bad, I was a very, very active person. Like 6 days a week at the gym. It was my mental clarity. It was my physical expression of like, get the stuff out, the stress out. It was my, feeling healthy and vibrant and working hopefully towards longevity. And for me as a mom of 3, setting a really good example for my kids. And obviously when things got bad, worse and worse and worse, I wasn't able to do that. And that was super frustrating for me. And I couldn't control it. I didn't get to choose what was happening to me. It was just happening. So I went ahead with the surgery, and then came the recovery from the surgery. And guess what? That was really frustrating too, because I didn't control how that happened. It wasn't linear. It wasn't every single day things just got better and better and better and better. There were many setbacks. There was lots of pain. There was lots of returns to the doctor. There was more MRIs and CAT scans to see what was going on. I had to start out walking with a walker. That's not me in the photo. My husband was too sad of watching me like hobble around the house with a walker. He refused to take any photos of me. So that's not me. But that was me because I had to start walking with a walker, literally starting over. And the first day that I went out for an actual walk, I ditched the walker, I got outside, and I walked. And I was like, oh, that felt good. Like, I feel really good about this. And the next day I got this notification that you see in the middle of the screen from my Apple Watch that said, keep it going. You had a great workout yesterday. Strong work. And I walked 1 kilometer in like 25 minutes and burned 69 calories. That was not a workout in my mind, right? So I had to develop and tap into my own growth mindset to say, okay, this stinks. This isn't how I expected it to go. I'm not exactly having a lot of fun here. But I have to keep going because I want to be an active person again. It's so important to me and just how I move through the world to be able to do that. So I kept going and I worked through the pain and I did the things and I went to the physical therapy and all the stuff. I tracked everything I was doing on Peloton because I'm a little bit Peloton obsessed. And 2.5 years later now, I'm over 300 runs, 1,400 walks. I'm lifting weights again. I was doing split squats the other morning with 50 pounds because I just kept going, right? I knew I couldn't control everything that was happening, and it wasn't happening in this, like, my linear brain in the way that I wanted it to happen, but I adapted, and I just kept working. And I'll never be as fast as I once was, but it doesn't matter. It's really, for me, again, about that feeling healthy and having that mental clarity for me. And it probably goes without saying that this all also happens because of discipline. And I know sometimes we like to feel inspired by other people around us, or we wait for that motivation to come from within. And I will tell you, I am a firm believer that discipline outweighs inspiration and motivation every day of the week. Like those perky Peloton instructors, they're inspiring, sure, but did they like get me up at 5 in the morning to do my workouts? No. Did I wake up every morning with this burning inner desire to get up and get going at 5 a.m.? Absolutely not. I could definitely have rolled over and gone back to sleep. But I was disciplined. And that's what it takes to be successful in anything that we want to accomplish, right?
It's true. Discipline will provide results and rewards for your efforts. So much like how Janine in this presentation, where she talks about the things that she did, but most importantly, the point I wanted to make was the example of rapid pain relief and reduced inflammation, because she went through some pretty extreme situations, and I commend her for sharing her story with regards to the use of the X39. And I also asked her in person after she had presented her story in front of the audience, and what else she was also using, and she disclosed to me that she was using the AEON, the AEON, which basically is another patch. I don't actually have the package here with me, but I probably should get it now that I'm thinking about it. But I do have the pamphlet, which is this guy right here. So you see the AEON, the YH AEON, and that is the master inflammatory patch. So if you have situations where you need to reduce your inflammation, it's a very strong and effective tool that you can use to accomplish that. And that's why the power of light and phototherapy is very good. And when I talk about powering my body with the best, which is the X49, and that of the X39, which is these two, there's something to be said with how it powers my body, and by demonstrating this to you on a weekly basis. It's no fluke that the things that I'm experiencing with regards to the benefits that I talk about, improving mental clarity and focus. Today is rapid pain relief and reduced inflammation. Tomorrow I'll think about showing some of my changes. Perhaps a photo here and there of some of the video taken from a year ago. Am I noticing an improvement? I would think so. I've noticed little things, and I'm sure you've already seen the enhanced sports performance and the other two things. Faster recovery from exercise. It's hard to I guess to show that, but with me being able to show up 6 days a week over the last, now coming close to a year, consistently, I think is a pretty self-explanatory way of saying, hey, I'm experiencing that faster recovery at my current age of 49. Yesterday I did the pull exercises. I did pull-ups, chin-ups, iron cross, and worked the bicep. So, I could see, the arms keep growing. They're staying strong. And your body needs to be in a position where it can continuously do this repair, reset, and regeneration of cells at the mitochondrial level. Yesterday I talked about exogenous and what was that? I can show you the picture. Oops. It was this picture right here. So the benefits, why it's incredible, not just for athletes, but for everyday people. Because there's endogenous and exogenous. So when I talk about, boosting the cellular energy in the ATP, it works. And when I combine it with the light therapy with what I call the cleanest and most absorbable water, now I've been drinking this water for it's going to be 5 years. And when I added the power of the X39 as part of the process of replenishing my body, that's when I noticed a significant change in my recovery and just overall well-being. The benefits go far beyond what I've just shown. Because nothing better than being able to wake up in the morning and just ready to go. It's great. There's no amount of money that can fix that or replace it. It just isn't. And to be able to share this with you on a day-to-day basis, it's kind of like a luxury almost to be able to do it. So if you're looking for the best, you want to improve your way of life, how you feel, so that way you can live well, live long, and live young. That way you can enjoy things all the way till the end. Can you do it? The answer is yes. I think you can. Now, you have to have a good lifestyle choices. Eat well. I've talked about this last week the specific amino acids that are required for this to work, and also required for this to work. Amino acids are also required for this to work effectively, because this is what provides the spark inside the body. You got to provide the fuel in order for the fire to burn. Can't have one without the other. It will always be that way. So, tomorrow we'll be talking about more of other things, but for the balance of today, I'm going to get on with it and do the 9-minute warm-up. You can see I've got there the... Okay, I'm just going to refresh this. Turn on the heart rate monitor. And today it's charged. So, should be working successfully today. Hopefully won't have any dropouts. In signal, I'm going to start with doing the... come on. There we go. Setting the metronome at 1... $145. There we go. I'll do 144. And then I also thought about adjusting this warm-up a little bit so that it has a little bit more variety in it. And I've been brainstorming a few ideas to incorporate the metronome as well as part of that. As part of this idea. And I will be kind of experimenting with my idea, and hopefully I'm successful at creating this, and then I will bring it and present it to you here live. So with that, let's begin the workout. So 6.5 minutes of just a nice different variations. Yeah. Can go slightly slower, and then let's say at the time goes to 5, at 5:30 I'll match the tempo. Two, 1. single leg jumps or single leg bounces. Oh my. Really? Ay, ay. Ah. So, at the end of the 6.5 minutes, I'm switched to doing double unders and running steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 8 double unders. Ready? Seven, 8. Ah. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm just going to switch the metronome down. So, I'm going to do the dead man hang first, which I'm going to focus here. If there's one thing that I notice now is the activation from the X49 that I'm wearing here underneath the wristband. I can sense the activation today. So it's telling me that the choices of food from yesterday were good. And that's telling me that the activation or the different amino acids are present, and that the peptide, the AHK peptide, being created by my body, and I can sense it. So I'm going to do the dead man hang. So starting on that first beat will be 0. Okay, and 0. 1. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, just barely hanging on. So, whew, definitely holding it like that. Feels good. All right, so first exercise for today, doing the lower chest. So I'm going to be doing attaching the bands here. I've got bands attached at the ceiling and another. And so this sequence here is going to involve doing a little bit of a I'm going to take the bands one in each hand and press them across like this, and you squeeze the lower chest muscles. So following essentially the fibers. And use the vibration plate as part of this as well, which I like to do. So, yeah, things about there. I think that's going to be approximately like that. And that's how I'm going to do it. All right. So pressing down here, kind of like a dip, but by adding the ankle points, basically I'm like squeezing the bands and pressing towards my torso. Trying to, what would you say, dig my heels. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit better. Provides the weight in the center of the vibration plate from left to right. Whereas so my toes are just off the edge, but I want my heels to be firm into the plate. I'm just going to move this back a little bit. There we go. So that way you can lean just a little bit forward. So that way I can lock my legs. And I can feel the lower chest, especially near the sternum when I cross. feels very good. All right. The next exercise is going to be with, I'm just going to set this up here for later. Now that I have it fresh in my mind. Okay. The second exercise is going to be doing a medial. So I'm going to take similar weight. So this here is 13 times 226 plus that. It's around 36 pounds of weight per side, give or take 30. Yeah, so I'm going to take equivalent for the upper chest, which is going to be 30 pounds, and the medial. So to start with that, I'm going to do the medial. And I'm going to try it this way here. Yes, that's how I'm going to do it. Set that there so hopefully it doesn't fall. Basically what I'm going to do is roll forward. Hopefully there's enough space. I'll tell right away. Like this. Yep. And of course, I go a little forward. Yes, you. All right. So. Wow. feels different doing it this way. And the reason why I say that is because of the constant time under tension. Having the weight allows me to adjust that discomfort level, if you want to call it that. And it provides, I still have to fight through it, which is good because then I can focus on activating the muscle when it's going through the range of motion. So here, now I'm going to focus on the upper chest, and so I'm going to be mimicking, there we go. I did this last week and I really liked how it felt. And I'm going to continue this idea this week. Let's go. So this one here really creates a lot of how'd you say, vibration, a lot of movement, a lot of discomfort. So you want to be careful with this one, doing it this way. Oh, I can already feel it. Wow. Certainly feel this guy. Wow. This one certainly is tough. Oh, wow. Definitely feel the difference between my left and my right. There's I'm stronger in my left. Which kind of, how would you say, reveals some things to me. based on how even my accordion affects. Yeah, it would make sense, because when I'm squeezing the bellows, normally I'm pulling up like this as opposed to straight across. There are times when I'm pulling up, and that would make sense why my upper is stronger on my left than my right. Okay, next up is flies. So I'm going to place the weight here. Okay, and then move this out of the way. And I've got the green bands set up here. So I'm going to switch to putting this around my palm like this. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to squeeze them like this. There we go. Oh, I should go a little bit more forward. There we go. So basically, I can add another band behind me if I wish, or do this, lie on the floor on my back and press a weight upwards as I'm squeezing. But this is good. I could feel the muscle fibers firing up. So doing it this way, I'm not trying to add any kind of momentum. So using the strength that's there to do it, to move the bands. You try not to move your torso forward. Locking the knees, squeezing the glutes and the quads, the core. Oh yeah. So this becomes a more of a complex type of athletic type of exercise. Very good. That one's very good. I like it. All right. Next is triceps. So this first exercise, I'm going to perform the tricep extension from a stretched position. So meaning my elbows are going to be above my shoulders like this, and This is the fully extended position, and then pressing forward. I'm just going to use this today, my towel here, so that way it makes this a little bit more comfortable. Slightly, not much, but and then I'm also going to take this weight here and put it behind me to help with just holding my position in place. I think this is going to be far enough. Slightly more forward, not much. Just a little bit. There we go. Now. Okay. So placing the weight on the floor behind me. That way I don't slide off the vibration plate. And let's begin. So here, you want to keep hanging in this area here. There's tension on the band right at this point here. So squeezing the glutes. The amount of discomfort I experience from that is very, very strong. So if you're looking to increase your time under tension for any of the muscles, this is a fabulous way to do it. Alright, next all I'm going to do is actually change the position of this one line here to a little bit higher. So that way there's more tension at the stretched position, just a little bit, largely because nailing down at this point here, just going to check it to see, there we go. Yes. And I'm just going to go slightly back, just a little bit, not much. And let's begin. So, again, squeezing the glutes and the hamstrings and the quads and then the core, so I can really feel wow. Some explosives. Slow negatives. Wow. I gotta do this type of training more to my legs. But the legs are a bigger muscle. They send a stronger pain signal to. This one is smaller. I can tolerate it, that pain signal. But the legs, it hurts more. We just have to find ways to overcome it. Oh, wow. All right. That's it for today. So, date stamp. March 31st, 2026. Starting time at 1:24 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you know anything about numbers, 123 stands for location. This is your location if you're, you know where you need to be. Just something funny on the side. All right, so today's maximum heart rate, I hit this range 207 to 218 for a total of 1 minute and 1 second. Total 2% of the entire recording. So you can see here. So, and then obviously my recovery at the end goes to show that I've got it in the tank. I'm as real as a heart attack. where was I? And then this heart rate zone of 185 to 206 for a total of 1 minute and 19 seconds. And then the duration of, let's see, majority of time was in this heart rate zone. So between 60 and 140 for 34 minutes after. So you can see how my heart rate climbs and drops. So a sign of good things. Oh, there's Phil again. And the X49, as you see here, that's activating the GHK, or not the GHK, the AHK peptide in the body, which is, that's this guy. And the GHK is this one. So if you click on the link in the description, you'll find it'll take you to the bundled price option for the two of these. And if you scan that, it'll just take you to the X39. And Phil, I see, is active again. Hello, Phil, if you're watching. Hope you enjoyed today's session, Tacky Tuesday. Today's topic was rapid pain relief and reduced inflammation. Shared some examples with you, real world examples, and I'm one of those real world examples as well. So I like how it feels, and the benefits are extraordinary. So we'll see you tomorrow for Wacky Wednesday. That's it for today. Have a good night.